everyone, this is Tech Economy TV and you know it, we're always here to give you the great stuff, and this is the build-up majorly and the conversation around the International Women's Day. And you're wondering, why is a man doing doing this interview? I mean, you know I'm pro-women and I had more female guests on this show than actual male guests. And today promises to be really exciting. But first of all, do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. I'm about to teach you guys how to drive today. Yes, because I'm sure you're wondering. So I have a guest today that has trained over 7,000 women. So we'll just do a brief introduction on how you manage to train 7,000 women. And let me tell you, I've seen my dad and my mom live together. Yeah. And I'm not saying my dad trained my mom, but I've seen how difficult it is for both of them to go through life together. So I know how difficult a woman can be. So how have you been able to manage 7,000 women?
So it started from the fact that I have an experience and I desire to help people that look like me. Okay, starting with the fact that I had to stop work a certain time and had to stay at home, raise my children and get back to work again. So, and there are some things I learned and I saw that life can be easier. Okay, if you have an understanding on how you want to run your life, because everybody cannot be like me. Yeah. So when I share my story and I see, especially in communities, because 7,000 is not something you just gather at once, and communities that are assemble women like me, and they get to see that this woman looks like she experienced something I'm experiencing, or something I look forward to get out of, they come closer. So when I throw out a training program, yes, you see people subscribe for it. So it's from a period of time. It did not just happen once, but a period of time. Within 3, 4, 5 years, I was able to have reached this number, and it's also in different platforms, both physically and online. Yeah. So. Physically and online.
So just for brief introductions, because some people are going to be wondering, okay, 7,000, am I speaking with? So just give us a short background, your name, level of education, and what you've been doing so far.
Okay, firstly, my name is Francis Aborigo. I'm the founder of Shimerges with Innovation Women Empowerment Foundation. We started as Shimerge, and it all started from my own experience, like I said earlier, how I went through stopping work at a certain time and also going back to work again, but this time around not in the office. I created work for myself. So everything surrounds around what I went through. So the period of time, having children, having to stop work, being someone that loves traveling, doing things for myself and earning for myself, so suddenly you're now dependent on another person and the children are there. So I stopped working the moment, stopped working before I had my children. So I went to fashion school. While I was in the school, I found out I was heavy, so I couldn't continue. I still had to drop out again. Wow. Before the end of the program though. So when my children arrived, twin boys. Yes. So I knew I wasn't going anywhere. Okay. So I was at home. Yes, I didn't have a nanny. I still don't have a nanny. So that's like how many years now. So then I understood, the day I left the hospital, I was at home and we were having this conversation with a few friends of mine and family members, and one of them was like, an older lady, was like, forget about this, your work. Yeah, you be housewife already. I was like, what? So the moment she made that statement was a trigger for me. I thought in my head, okay, this is not going to happen. I have to find a way to survive right here and now. So the rest of the conversation, I can't remember it because I zoomed out. Next I was thinking, I was like, I hear about DIYs. I see people do things from their homes. What can I do from home? Yeah, I'm a graphic designer. I really have the skills. I don't think I was even training anybody, but it's something I love doing. I started doing early in life. I started calling people. It started from the fashion school I went to because I had done a few projects for them. And I was like, is there anybody doing a runway show? You want illustration or anything I could help you with? So, and I told them, drop my number with the school. So if anybody needs tags, anything, I do it. I send it to them in China. They produce their stuff and send back to them. So when I reached out, I got responses. So these two ladies reached out to me. Okay, I want this, I want this, I want this. I'm releasing my line and you can do this for me. So by the time I got a lot, 80K within 2 days. And how was I even working? I would lie down on the floor. My boys would be crawling around me because I want to keep my laptop away from
Yeah,
them.
from there.
And I'll be sure that once they are getting close, I'll just play with them a little, distract them, and stay. If I leave the space, they will start crying. They were still crawling, a few months old. So while I was working on my system, I was able to make money. That was when I told myself, why do I need to start looking for a job again? Yeah, I have to do it at home. So another thing that happened was like people in my environment, women around me, because the funny thing was like I'll be in my house, I'll be cleaning the house, sweeping the house. You see others going to work, and you're still in the house cleaning up. You see them coming back from work, they wave at you and all that. So I was asking myself, how do I survive? How do I move on? How do I make my own income? So when I did that, I was able to earn. I started thinking about people like me that don't know what I know now. The thing is like, let's get a skill and start earning from it. So that was how I started.
Yeah, that's how you started. Interesting, great story.
Yeah.
I would just like to dive in deep a little bit because you said during that journey, and I know that you're passionate about mental health.
Yeah.
Exactly, and I can categorically say this that not every woman comes out of having children and going back to work,
Yeah.
or not every woman can survive. I don't want to call it depression after having kids. I think they call it post something. I can't really remember.
So
Is it?
that's
Yeah. So not every woman comes out of that and goes back to work. Not every woman can just bear that burden of clean. Like imagine just seeing people that you would had dreams when you were young, and young girls go to work, but you already have kids and you can't even you can't go to work. Not everybody can have the strong
exactly.
willpower like that. So what would you say pushed you through? What would you say kept you going?
Okay, I'm actually laughing because I'm kind of reliving those moments. I went through depression. I went through I had complicated childbirth those few times because I gave birth to CS, and there were occasions I had, yeah, okay, yeah, I had a preeclampsia the first pregnancy. The second one I had pregnancy induced diabetes. So the second time, that was when I went into depression. And I didn't know I was depressed because you just see everything around you rolling the other way around, like you're in kind of another dimension. Like everything was just annoying and sad. All you wanted was just everything. So what I did was delete all my social media handles. First of all, I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to hear anybody do anything. I just want to be alive and focus on my kids. But another thing is community. What kind of community are you surrounding yourself with? So before then, when I had my boys and they were still like 2 years old, I was in this community of women, and someone mentioned about neurolinguistic programming (NLP), and I was like, ah, that's something I like. I love public speaking. I want to come out. I want to be bold, and do things for myself. So I enrolled with Innocent Minds, and that was how my transformatory journey started because I was able to understand how I think, how people think, how to handle situations, how to know how to be positive about life, how to be, yeah, ecological. That's the word we use. And use NLP tools to manage my own mental health, being mindful. Okay. So in my second pregnancy, I was now feeling I have the tools to manage my emotions. It's not as if there were not times I was crying in the toilet and nobody knew what was going on. I was feeling depressed. And because of that depression, I needed help. I sought for help. So even when I was doing the training, I was asking questions that are very, very that align with what I was experiencing. So during my second pregnancy, I had met this lady also from her work was to help women, especially to get their power back. So I enrolled in her. I had her one-on-one session with her. Then I also had this time. So she was having this program. Is it 30 Days of Happiness? I joined them. So we just make sure you take note of things that make your moments positive. Things that happened. It could be as good as there was no light and NEPA brought light for that day. Note it made you happy. And I was doing that. I was focusing more on the positive side of life. While I was doing that, I was now ready to give birth. I went into labor, and I had my baby. I had my things put together. I was so happy that period. After which, it didn't stop me from going into post pregnancy depression. So how did I get through those moments? Those moments were more like understanding where I am, what's going on with me, and always on the call with people that can assist me. So those were the people that helped me get through. And by the time I came out, today they're all like, Francis, this is you anyway. So it doesn't mean that we cannot do it alone. Please seek help. As in, seek help. We
Most
can't do it
importantly,
alone.
seek help.
Yeah,
Because
can't do
I
it
noticed
alone.
that most of the time, people that are in that kind of trauma don't necessarily want to talk to people
Yeah.
and want to relate. But the theme for this year's International Women's Day is accelerate action. And I'll give a backstory because I feel like some women I don't want to phrase it that way, so they
Okay.
don't come for me.
Okay.
I believe that there's this idea around a few women
Okay.
that think that everything should drop on their lap. And even in recent weeks in the entertainment space, we've seen the whole Lamborghini conversation and how some men are outside and they're like,
Yeah.
do these women use this to get what they want? In terms of action, would you do you see a lot of women taking action, or you think a lot of women just feel like they can be laid back and get what they deserve because they are women?
Okay. Yeah, that's so many questions in one. So let me start with the fact that first, what do you believe in? Because belief actually defines how we see life and how we live our life. So starting with the fact that I don't stop identifying myself with my faith,
Yeah.
being a Christian, and understanding that God has called us with a responsibility. We are to create, we are to make, we are like created in his image and likeness. It's not left for men alone. So we're not even in competition, just like I said earlier when we were having a
Mm.
conversation ahead before now, that everybody has been given an assignment independent of the other. Like we're all to complement ourselves. Let me not
Yes.
say that we're independent. Complement ourselves and we have responsibility. So when I say that I won't do my part because this person is going to do his part and is going to favor me, then I'm stopping myself from reaching the highest goal of my calling. So as a woman, I won't say because I'm a woman, things should start falling in my laps. Like seriously, is that not somebody's child over there working so hard? So I have to reach out for myself. I run a mentorship group, a mentorship program actually. And if you come to my mentorship program, that's when you see the other side of me. And that's where we sit down and work with responsibility. Just like you were telling me, there should be no excuses.
Yes.
Even if you have excuses, have you tried every possible means to help that situation not to get so bad? Then it's now beyond your control. You get? So before I can say there's nothing I can do, have I tried every possible way to win that situation? Then when I cannot, I ask for help. So because I also know that when I started my journey then as a graphic designer, I was helped a lot by men. Like I was in Niger graphic designers group. Then I would drop my project then, and guys will look at it and be like, ah, okay, this is where you need to correct. And I enter their DM, I say, please, I did this for my clients and my clients rejected it. What is wrong with it? And this guy will be like, okay, there's this review group I've created. Come, drop in your work and let's see how we can help you and then give you tools to improve. That was how, and I'm not ashamed to enter anybody's DM. I don't care where you are and who you are. I'm not afraid. You will not beat me. It's DM.
The
If you
worst
don't
you not
respond,
reply
I
me.
move to the next person. So I was doing that because I desire growth. I don't believe everything will follow me. Anyway, probably came because I came from a family where women work for themselves. Like we have a lineage of women that. So my mom, there's this thing I tell my sister. I'm sorry I'm saying it in public because we don't talk about it outside. My mom is hardworking. My grandmom is hardworking. My great grandmom, I still have that line. So it pushes us to represent.
Yeah.
So my sister comes to tell me, I'm having this situation, I'm having this situation. The first question I ask her, who born you? Who born you? Do you know your mother? Like that is how we talk. And she will start laughing and say, I beg you serious. Let me go and do what
Mm.
I have to do. So we remind ourselves, knowing who you are, and also being a child of God, knowing who is your backing, there is no place you cannot enter. All you need to do is say your prayers and move. First, move. Let
Yeah.
it be that it worked or it did
Yeah.
not.
It should not drop on your lap. All right.
Go
And
ahead.
you made mention of having like support from men, and I would always say this. Do you get? I would always say that for a woman to walk into any door,
Yeah.
a man opened that door. So it's now left for that woman to open the door to other women.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I would also drive the conversation towards equity in pay, equality in pay in the industry. There's the
Okay.
conversation around they pay men more than they pay women. And I heard the story of a woman that applied for a job and she was asking for, I think, 700,000 naira monthly. And the conversation was, what do you want to use 700,000 naira to do monthly? Is your husband not working? So those are the kind of conversations we see in the space, and this is what we see women canvas for. And according to the information I have in the tech space,
Yeah.
the inequality in pay because of it's a woman delivering that job can somewhat be insulting. So do you have any experiences, or have you heard about any experiences, and how can you advise women that are in such a position to grow up with that?
Okay, so this time around, it's a bias against women, and you what you said actually. Let me be honest with you, is a trigger for me because I don't see any reason we are bringing my husband into the picture because I'm an individual.
Yeah.
You employed me as an individual, and I'm the one bringing value to this workspace. But wait, because I'm my husband in the matter, because my husband is also working his own, and we all have plans, budget. So when you say, is my husband not working, is he not well to do, does it mean that we don't have projects and plans we need funds for? So
Exactly.
does it mean that me, okay, forget the fact that but probably I'm not married.
Mm.
Okay, what if I'm not married? So you cannot pay me again because there's a supposed husband someday that is going to come to rescue this damsel. You understand? So if we can remove that, because I've experienced it, and it made me feel bad when I found out my colleague was being paid more
More.
than myself, and we were doing the same thing simply because he's a man, and next thing he was getting married. So the percentage was so wide that my jaw dropped, and I was like, I walked away. I actually walked
You
away.
quit.
Yes, I quit when I understood that was the case, and I was like, no, that's not fair. That's not fair. But it happens. Mine would be little because it's not a big situation. It was a contract project. But if it's somewhere I have dedicated my time to work for my work life journey, you understand? If I'm going to work for a long time and I'm going to see this every day I show up at work, I may not put in my best. If I know that this is the situation I'm going to be experiencing. So the best thing is allow things be, pay everybody what they
What
are
they deserve, yeah.
worth. Yes, and it will drive people to do more. There is no competition if you don't put if you put a level ground, there'll be no competition. But when you start putting a lot of things for people to jump hurdles to get to, you see some fierce, unnecessary competitions going on. So we can prevent
Interesting.
that.
So let's go back to your book and women in tech. 'Cause, I mean, what are common problems that you see for women that want to dive into tech? What are the common challenges? What are the peculiar challenges that you see women face in the tech space or going into the tech space?
Okay, so firstly, there are many of them, Sha. But first, the fact that most women still believe that they are not qualified enough to adventure or venture into some certain jobs, job positions is very alarming.
Mm.
Yes, I have a community that is quite a number, okay, and I drop in a job offer for a graphic designer or a product designer or so, and I was like, send me your CV, send me your stuff, let me send it to the HR or so. And you find I dropped it in two groups, a group that is mixed and my own community. Then in the other community, I had floods of guys throwing in their CV,
Easy.
telling me I'm not good with product design, but I'm very good with no code. And I'm like, I'm seeing their work. I'm like encouraging them, guy, you're trying, just go for it. And I'm waiting like two or three CV comes from the
The women
women,
group.
and the other one is asking you question like, okay, I can do this, I can't do that. It's not what I asked you. Bring your CV. That first, let me see your portfolio. Let me see your portfolio, your project. Some of them will be like, I'm not through with my portfolio. Who is asking whether you is complete or not? I want to see what you've done so far. And some of the guys that came, at least 10 against 2. You understand the situation. So that's it. They don't still believe they are qualified enough. And I will tell you, that same period, I've completed a training that comprised 200 women. Okay, within that few period, I've done some training programs that well, up to 400. We have done 200, did 100 and another 100. So 400 women. So I was happy I had number. And they all learned from me, product design, and you're ready to. I knew those they were submitting their project. I saw how good they were, but they didn't come forward. So the thing is about, are you ready? Do we agree that we are qualified? One. Then the second one, the other challenge I see is the gadgets issue. This person like, I'm borrowing laptop. My laptop is
Because
bad.
it's your
I don't
husband's
have.
laptop.
I'm using my husband's laptop. My husband promised me a laptop, and I'm waiting for him. That kind of thing. Or maybe I need money for data and all those things. When I started working as a product designer, I was using my husband's desktop, and even there, when I made the money to buy the laptop, I didn't buy the laptop because I still have something I was using.
Working
I
with it.
used it to solve other needs when I was willing. But because when I was ready, I was able to get another one. But even before then, my husband still got me a laptop, but I wasn't dependent on him. I was waiting. Anytime that laptop is not available, I will raise the money to buy my laptop, but I need something to start with.
Yes.
So the thing is, I'm waiting and I'm complaining about this gadget now. How much has that gadget been able to help me raise? I would want to work as a I want to go into cybersecurity,
Security.
and I know I need a good laptop. I need at least Core i5 or so. So I need a good laptop. But what I have is a what do they call it?
Intel.
Not
The
even Intel self. I'm going way back
Pavilion.
to no. You're calling good laptops. I'm going for all this. These ones are very close to iPad. All those notebooks. Okay. Okay, all those notebook, and this all I have, and I cannot use it to do what I want to do. Why don't you go ahead and do other smaller projects to raise that money? Keeping your eye focused on your goal. I can go into copywriting, help people do SEO. They pay me because you can also do it with your phone. I remember when I was using this lovely MacBook my husband got for me then, and it's very wide. I couldn't even carry it around because it was heavy,
Heavy.
and it was a wide screen. So one day I was busy using the desktop because I now have a laptop, but I was still good with desktop because you can expand it, you can do things, video editing
Yeah,
and
two
all that.
screens.
I was enjoying that, so I left my laptop. I didn't know the day my children took water there and soaked the MacBook. So they poured water on the table, we went all the way there and soaked the laptop. And I didn't know because they did it and also on the dad's laptop. So he came in and cleaned his own, and it was fine. Nobody knew mine was still in the water. So after some days, I came to use it. That was when I knew the system was
It's
gone
gone.
and was way too gone. So what did I do? I had projects coming in. That was when I transitioned to using Canva to design. Then I was using Photoshop and the rest. So I knew, oh, Canva is good. I will still deliver to my clients. None of my clients noticed the
The
difference.
difference that your
I
income.
started looking for online. I didn't only use Canva. I found Pixlr and a few others that were very good online for designing. I was able to deliver to my clients while I'm trying to
To
figure
fix.
out and fix what was going on.
Okay, so in terms of support, because you says waiting for my husband, I'm doing this and that and that. Are there initiatives or agencies or private sector funding that fund women that are willing to go into tech? Maybe okay, today we're buying 100 laptops for women, or today we're doing this great something for women. Is there any initiative or any support, or you that you have trained over 7,000 women? Is there has there been some sort of funding from
Oh,
external bodies, or you just been doing it by yourself?
okay, so far, I haven't got any funding. Because of, firstly, it's not because nobody gave me funding, but because of the level of information I had, I wasn't looking for, I was self funding. Okay, so when I started seeing the need, something I was doing for fun, just to help people, I wasn't looking for any big project or something like that. So but the numbers were growing based on the people you were reaching out to, and people that were opening doors for you into their communities. I was able to reach out to them. I'll train them on tech skills, and they go ahead and continue with their lives, build, yes, communities for themselves, even get jobs and get back to me, share their testimonial. So I wasn't looking for building a community myself.
Yeah.
So when eventually, it was like 2 years ago, we got registered. This year we became a non-governmental organization where we can now do bigger projects. But it was more of a fun thing. There are many other platforms. There are quite a lot of them. But I know that NIDA is a National Information
Yeah.
Technology Development Agency. They are in for to help. Yeah, they are doing things for women now, because right now the Ignite Her boot camp is going on, where I'm also
Facilitating.
facilitating. Yeah, I'm facilitating. I don't know the number of women that registered because they were so much. I don't have the
The
statistics of
database.
this, but I'm a facilitator. And yesterday was our first day. We did orientation and we looked at a lot of things. We looked at percentage and how women are doing. are performing and encouraging more women to come out and do much more. If you're going into tech, then we talk about funding. So a lot of women now, we're looking at women in SME, not only tech. Some of them complain about some funding focus on tech based and
Mm-hmm.
forget about all that. So this one says she's this lady mentioned the fact that she's into catering
Oh, okay.
and she was not funded, and she noticed that majority 80% were funding
Mm.
went to, I don't want to go to the name of the company that were funded, but the thing is there are a lot of them. All you need to do is to look out.
I
Okay,
mean, but
you will see a lot of
just to
them.
defend the company, I don't even know them, but I think you want to fund the future. Yeah, I'm not saying catering is not the future, but
Yeah,
I mean,
no, innovation,
yeah,
they are
exactly.
all
Like,
focused, but there's still innovation in catering. I mentor with Google Hustle Academy as well, and I meet people because Google Hustle Academy is spread across people in Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, Ghana. So I get to meet people across. But even
mm,
when I was with Women Textiles Fellowship, we we taught women across. So I see culture, I see repetition, I see the same thing we're experiencing.
mm.
But when you look at it, you see that people are doing a lot of things. With Google Hustle Academy, we meet people that startup founders from different, and you see agriculture. This young
Yeah.
man produces
Funny how
food.
tech cuts across various sectors.
Exactly, exactly. So if you're into catering, my advice for you is to look out for innovation in your field. Don't say because you want to start a catering
Yeah,
outlet like that and you're expecting someone to fund it. Sometimes it doesn't really work like that.
sure. I mean, cakes and cream, they have a perfect tech.
Like
I just did
you
an
mentioned
ad. I just did an ad.
like they're the only ones
No,
they're the
no,
only
no,
ones that
but
make cake in Nigeria, in
no,
Lagos.
but they know they already like hacked the what was the like the whole the database. They just know how to
They
they
were
just know how to
very,
put innovation into whatever they are doing.
yeah, look at the fintech. Look at the fintech now. Like everybody,
Yeah,
everywhere now you look, things are
exactly.
better. So there's still someone that will break the flow and
Yeah,
become the disruptor. Then everybody will follow that path.
exactly.
Obviously, just look out for what works for you.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about your book, and how is people maybe like my sister is probably going to watch this and she's looking out to I want to break into tech, I'm looking for a mentor, I want to I want to thrive, I want to have a one-on-one session with you, have a conversation with you. How can I go about that? How can I reach out to you?
Okay, first, I have a personal website. You can reach me francesaborigo.com, or you come through our community shimedtribe.com. Yes, scroll all the way down, join our community, and you can find environments where you can chat with us. Then you can also reach me through the community because I'm always there. And also, you can reach me on LinkedIn. Yes, you can reach me on LinkedIn, send me direct messages. Is there any other way you want to? By email.
Yeah,
By
email
email.
works too. Then how can I
Yes.
get your book?
Okay, my book currently, it's still, you need to reach me for it now because it's not out in the public yet. Yes, because there was a delay in in release. So right now it's pre-order.
Pre-order.
Pre-order. Yes, that's the
Okay,
only
so
way you
we're
can
still on
get
pre-order. So
it.
if you want to pre-order, if you don't want to reach her, reach me, but I'll
Yeah,
take percentage.
the name is Tribe. Okay, Try Beyond Today. So the focus of the book, like you asked, is about you thrive today, you're doing well. So how about tomorrow? So try beyond today, how a woman will balance her work life and also experience growth. Yeah, to the highest of her goals. That's what the book is about.
I don't have time. I'd have played one short game with you, but I don't have time. Okay, so I have a this or that game, so you have to pick one, and you can't be in the middle. You have to just be here. Yeah, either here
Okay.
or there.
Hope I'm safe.
I don't know. I don't know. All
Okay.
right, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Equality or equity?
Equity.
Equity.
Yes.
Career or family?
Hmm. Family, of course.
You heard it.
Yes.
Heels or sneakers?
Sneakers, of course.
And why not heels?
Oh, it's not for everybody.
Okay.
I'm not that person.
Leader or collaborator?
Collaboration.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Speak up or listen?
Hmm.
This is very dicey.
Yeah, it is. Hmm. There's a time. I don't know. You said I shouldn't be in the middle.
You have to pick one.
Okay. You caught me here. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's say speak up.
Speak up.
Yes.
We know your type.
Okay then. Okay.
Tradition or innovation?
Innovation. Like no two ways about it.
Solo or sisterhood?
It depends on what it calls for, but
Uh,
okay, sisterhood. Yes,
sisterhood.
because that's what
I can see
I'm
that
paying
maybe your sister
for.
is the one giving you expo behind camera.
No,
Courage
no.
or compassion?
Hmm. Why are you choosing these words? Because they have to be. It's time bound. Like this thing based on the situation. Okay, you said what again?
Courage or compassion?
Hmm. Courage.
Hmm. No, iOS or Android?
Android, like Android.
All right, I'm very disappointed because she decided to pick Android over iOS. I don't know who does that, but if you are in that gang, I'm sorry. But I saw that she has an iOS phone and she also has an Android phone.
Yes, I have it too.
But then again, for people that don't like to pay for stuff, you already know that they use Android. But I'm not dissing anybody. I'm not dissing anybody. All right, so joining the conversation, get her book. Like I said, the conversation has been interesting. I mean, I had some questions that put her on the spot, and I believe you did justice to those questions. And I like to call them traps, but you were
Yes.
able to navigate
Okay.
those conversations. I was setting you up for drags, but thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It was very interesting.
You're
Like,
welcome.
and this is only very few women that you see that understand that yes, the family is also important, and also doing pushing a career is also important. And I
Sure.
feel like only men should not be doing it.
Good.
Women should also join in and support. And for the men out there,
Yeah.
International Women's Day, please support. Like I said earlier, for any woman to come into any room, a man has opened the door. But also as women, I've had conversations around my female friends when they tell you that women don't like women now. So I think women should also open the door for more women
More
to come
women,
in,
of course.
and let's just spread love
Yeah.
majorly and accelerate action. So do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell. I remain Dakpo for Tech Economy. Other exciting conversations coming up next. Thank you.